Welcome to CRM Experts in Their Own Words. I'm Chris Buchholz, editor of Forecasting Clouds, and I'm here with Larry Ritter. Larry's title is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of CRM Applications for Sage.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me, Larry.
That's great to be here at Forecasting Clouds.
Oh, thanks. The Sage has got a lot of products, and it's I think one of unique among CRM vendors in that you seem to cover a lot of ground with a lot of products. What are some of the challenges of doing that, and I guess also what are some of the advantages of having that kind of arsenal of products in your team?
Okay. Well, we actually have three. We have our ACT product, we have our Sage CRM product, we have our Sales Logics product. So those are the three we have in the Sage CRM family. One of the advantages of having multiple products is that you can actually position them correctly for different markets, for different customers. And so an ACT customer has a different interaction model that they're trying to solve for, and personal productivity of an individual or salesperson, whereas you might be solving more of a cross-department team collaboration with one of our CRM products. So it's advantageous because you can actually position products for the right need. Mm-hmm. And then the way we position our products is then Sage CRM is clearly in the CRM space, but we position that largely with our ERP product lines, and so that it's really easy and convenient when someone's buying an ERP product to get CRM with it.
Yeah.
And Sales Logics is probably a classic CRM product sold typically to the front office buyer, and they're really after the most sophisticated needs of analytics and deep customizations and very deep business process automation. Kind of some of the risks of that is that you have to position it to people, right? And so keeping that straight with your channel and your customers, and they say, why should I have this one or not that one, is kind of a challenge. But I think the advantages kind of outweigh the disadvantages.
Now, with social CRM becoming such a big deal, and obviously it's the kind of thing customers can't ignore. Vendors hadn't been able to ignore it for a long time, but customers now are really catching on. What kind of challenges does that bring to your job and to Sage's job of keeping these systems as relevant to the customers as possible?
Okay, well, actually, it's interesting. At Sage, we're kind of in it in two parts. We're in it from bringing social CRM or social media to our customers as they use our CRM products. But maybe something that you don't know is we're big users of it ourselves. And so we have, for example, a very active community for both our ACT and our Sales Logics products out here in North America. Tens of thousands of users on this site. It's a great way for us to interact with those customers, they interact with each other, so that's certainly part of that. We've also got all the social media connections there as well. So we have Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, and I get those all the time. I'm in those groups and see the dialogue. So from a vendor perspective, using social media, we use it to create the community and give our customers a chance to interact with each other. And so we're busily monitoring and doing the same things that our customers want to do with social media as well. Now, within our CRM products, some of the things that we do is, I think it kind of breaks currently in kind of two main areas. There's the area of either finding new or adding to contacts that you have and using the social media space to help you find more like this one or other people who know this person or more contacts in a company. And so we've built a number of those things into our products so that people kind of in an in-context view can basically find out more about someone. The other kind of general area of social media that I think is really relevant to CRM is people are doing like interest search or topic search. So everybody's worried about what is somebody saying about my company and the internet, someplace, and oh my gosh, do we have to react right away? And so the ability to filter that and then ultimately take action within your CRM system. So you can right-click on something and say, I want to assign it to a ticket to a person in my support team or my marketing team or whatever.
One of the interesting things to me about what Sage is doing and has done with its product is the idea of making that interface customizable and realizing that it's not just about the relationship that the company has with the users, it's also the relationship the user has with the CRM product and the interface and how usable that is. Has anything in the last 18 months or so changed the importance of that at all? Is this becoming a thing that keeps increasing in importance as more people are expected to be part of the CRM ecosystem, or are there any other factors influencing this right now?
Well, usability is always really important, and you can never say the usability of a CRM system isn't, because adoption drives everything. If people don't use the system, then It's not good for anything. And so what I think is really going on is the consumerization of the enterprise, and people expect things to be as easy to use at work as you're used to at home, whether it's working your TV or you're working your iPhone or whatever. And so I think people's tolerance for unusable products has probably gone up more so than in the older days. And so I think usability, while it's always been a fashionable thing to say usability, I think it's really more important now.
Well, the other thing that's interesting in what Sage has been up to in the very recent past is the idea of a cloud version of Sales Logics, which is obviously that's the trend, but it's really a challenge for a company to take a product that's been a sort of on-premise product or a product delivered through a different delivery channel and adapt it to the cloud. Can you tell me a little bit about what went into that and what the customers can expect from it now that it's available?
Okay, well, first, when we talk about a cloud strategy, we really talk about it in two parts. We talk about a connected services strategy where we have like email marketing and mobile services and things like that that are kind of complementary features to the core application itself. And I think the other part that you're asking is more about the application itself, the Sales Logics Cloud. And I think what's really happened is there's been a really big enabler to go on. If you think back just a few years ago, if you wanted to have a cloud-based application, you had to be an expert in the application, the infrastructure, and have a billing and provisioning system around that. So you had to have competency in a number of areas. And so fortunately we live in a time where virtualization in particular, I think, is the enabling technology that's allowed companies like Amazon, which is the one that we use, the Amazon EC2 Cloud, to kind of bring this world-class data center to you, so I don't have to do that. There's enough capabilities either inherent with them or that we've been able to add ourselves to add that billing and provisioning layer. And so we kind of maintain our expertise in the application, and so it's kind of disaggregated those competencies that you had to have to be in the cloud. And so it's been really good timing for us. And so what we've done is we've brought that to market, and now what the customers enjoy from that is that they get the benefit of determining when their application changes. There's certainly good reasons in multi-tenant applications when a vendor says, hey, we're going to change it, and it changes for everyone, and that's great. And if you've got an application that's not particularly strategic to you, not particularly highly customized, whatever, that's fine. If you've got something that you say, well, gee, there's a very sensitive time of the year, time of the quarter, time of the whatever, for me, and I'd really rather not have somebody, changing on me. I'd rather be in control of that. That's one of the big benefits that we're bringing forward.
There's a lot of talk about how products that helped with sales and with customer retention weathered the storm weathered the storm better than others. But still, it's been a rough time for everybody. And now that we're sort of pulling out of it, what has the lasting effects of this been? Not necessarily on Sage, but on your customers and how they're viewing their use of these applications.
Well, I think you hit it really well there. There's a lot of focus on retention. People certainly know that the benefits of retaining your customers is just a cost-effective thing to do in any environment. But I guess to kind of turn the question a little bit sideways, what I've learned, or I think mostly from it, is that during the recession, the buying and ownership experience for the customers has just never been more important, and a lot of customers wanted to buy the product, had a strong need for the product, but they just couldn't pay for it the way they would in the past. So I think a lot of the work that we did, and I know others in the space did, is things around how do you create more flexible payment plans for customers, and how do you extend their maintenance agreements, how do you allow them to package it up in a financial manner that works in their environment today. And while I think we'd all love to say, great, the economy is great and recession is past and life is good again, I think these lessons are kind of going to stay with us, because I think we and our customers have kind of learned that we need this kind of flexibility in that buying and ownership experience to really meet the needs of our specific
Larry, thank you for taking the time. We've been talking with Larry Ritter from Sage on CRM experts in their own words on forecasting clouds. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you, Chris.